time, I guess, is theoretically how things are going to go for T1. But see whether Life Esports have something to say about it is, yep, Jet Set Radio Future is upon us.
Yep. And
ooh, counter gang timing pretty nice here from Ono, but Faker might have been baited in, has to flash to get himself out of the way. The Death Ray just barely not getting there, and now Onfleek's the one in trouble. The flash forward from Ono, he's committing to this one, as Faker may have overextended. Karis gets the first blood, and now Ono is looking to try and make the trade better here for T1. Does manage to safeguard his way over. It's a great position on the gravity field, but it does not matter. He's just going to have to crab brave his way to the death chamber, and that will be the double for Ono.
Double for Owner, very
more mechanics that T1 are bringing to all of these lanes, and now we're looking for a bit of a collapse. Onfleek is in position, but I don't know whether he's quite going to be enough here, and you can see T1, they still want this, even though it is 2 versus 3, instead of the 1 versus 3 that they were thinking, as in goes Owner. Will have to get himself out as the counter-strike is not going to be enough. Leap Strike is going to do it for Dudu, and immediately things go wrong.
Yeah, this is really difficult to execute a dive against a Jax. Part of the reason, again, why he's picked up here on this top side. Karis is going to be able to grab a plate down here as well.
And, like, I feel like everyone's getting trolled. Sunday not going to be able to find the W here towards the bottom side. But him and Vista having a pretty good time. And as far as how this game is sitting right now, 2-2, very even on gold, is now Dudu. Counter-Strike going to get the stun. But Zeus throwing out the needlework. This is looking like a solo kill in the making. As Dudu, can he actually get out of the way? While with bottom lane, I guess there's a gank happening as Samdi immediately is going to ult. Onfleek picks up the kill. Nice W from Samdi as well to try and get a bit of extra damage. Shield comes out, flash forward from Samdi, but he's not able to finish off the kill on the Lee Sin. And somehow, the Jax survived.
Jax survives up there on the top side. His flash is just now coming up early and then helps his laners succeed rather than being the carry himself later on. As they're going to make that run more play.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. This time, the needles are going to connect. Faker flashing forward. They're looking to really punish this guy as the... Okay, yeah, we're not going to quite find that cue from Ona, but he is able to at least help it every single time, and it kind of bothers me just a little bit.
I'm not a TFT guy.
Yeah, no, it's probably a good thing. Yeah, I remember that build was actually pretty nutty. Anyway, back to the correct video game here is T1 actually starting to get aggressive. There's the flash forward from Faker. Samdi's going to actually get kicked back this time. Immediately gets traded for Faker's life. Is now Onfleek trying to get out of there. Owner says no, but just barely enough with the needlework is going to lock down Onfleek. Now Zeus taking a bit of damage here as Owner gets underneath the turret looking for Karis. He gets a big old shield on the Q, misses, and now Dudu is tidying up the fight. That's a massive lamppost to the face, and that's an ace for Life Esports.
And this is a massive turning point in this game because now you've given Dudu the ability to absolutely rule this game. Karis gets an extra kill turn. Like, do not underestimate how easy it is for Life Esports to actually control these chokes with the Victor, with the Counter-Strike play potential. Like, T1, you're late on this one.
Yeah.
You got to do something, though.
Realm Warp is going to come in, so there is going to be an opportunity to fight this one, but it is going to be the Jax that locks down the Baron. And now Owner is just caught with absolutely nowhere to go. Now Onfleek looking for even more. It might be a sacrifice of his life, though, as Dudu dives on top of Gumayushi. One more auto is going to do it. The exhaust is fantastic onto Faker to lock down the last remaining source of consistent damage on this team. And I guess Zeus was there, but he didn't last too long either, and that is absolutely massive damage from this Jax.
5,300 do everything mobility. It's also it also gets cooldown reduction from her autos, which she's shooting a lot real fast all the time. Yeah, they want the turret.
Ezreal's like, come on, I already had like some of these. Like, why does she get to do them all way better than me?
They're not going to get the turret. It still stands to this day.
Yes, thank goodness. That block is now not going to be
Zeus
destroyed.
is coming over, but he's not going to get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like the Baron's not going to last too long, so don't put a plaque on him at this point in time.
Look at all
that one's going to get taken down very quickly. Yeah, exactly. There's so much vision, and I think that Hanwha will be looking for a turn. They do. They look for Owner here as the final chapter comes down. He's going to get stopped, but that's a big old shield. Dudu has to use his stopwatch relatively early in this one as the needlework's doing so much work. Ult from Samdi comes out, and now he's going to have to flash get himself out of the way, and it's now Gumayushi that's doing the damage. Realm Warp to try and let them escape as now Karis may have overextended, immediately gets kicked back. And Owner is massive, but it could be another pentakill for Zeri here. That's the triple, as Guma's going to go down for the quadra.
This is what happens with this champion. Teleport to end it. That's an ace. That's the game. Hanwha Life!
I don't think we're going to see Zeri again, ladies and gentlemen. I think this champion's a little bit strong. I don't know. The Nexus is going to fall down, and Humble Life Esports, they do it again. They upset T1 in game 1.
There you go. The Zeri ends up cleaning up the team fight. You got a Yuumi on top of that champion. The movement speed she gets, everything that she has, her ult, she maintains it. If you don't know how this champion swimmingly.
Yeah. I mean, T1 are still demonstrating that their bottom side of the map is extraordinarily powerful. Faker is even on farm as well. He's got his unsealed spellbook, picked himself up a Ignite. But Humble Life Esports, they don't need to win bottom lane. Like, honestly, they just need to keep the game working in this favor, and then Dudu is going to side lane for the victory.
Yeah. OnFleek's just hovering this lane because he knows that the way that this is just such a nice block there from Dudu because he has ult.
But also, like, I don't know why Ono's going in at that point.
Well,
like, I actually think that when I was looking at that play, I saw OnFleek's health as being lower, but I don't think he was going to be able to do much unless he gets, like, a kick flash under a turret.
The reason why OnFleek stays up there is because of Zeus' positioning in the lane, and he's like, oh, no, he's trying to bait out the R, and, you know, he's going to look for the ult. Speaking of baiting, Faker plays that so well. We're still going down here. This is where you can find value as T1. Like, this is the lane you need to be in.
Yeah.
Now you're going to deny CS for this Aphelios and get more plates.
Karis did get ignited there by Faker, as Ona is going to flash, gets the mini stun into the wall there, as Sandy throws down the ult, but isn't going to be able to do enough, as Vista has to flash. The zap even comes through, Super Mega Death Rocket finishes it off. Faker also extraordinarily low underneath this turret, but that is 2 kills on the bottom side. T1 striking back.
Karis will get a plate. Humble Life Esports will be able to take this Rift Herald, but the critical thing is not only is Gumayusi getting insanely fed now, he took a cull, so he's going to have that big boost of gold that he's going to pick up here shortly, as well as all that plate gold. So he's doing well and denying Samdi so much CS. So many minions have been lost here, so much experience has been lost here.
Oh, that was perfect as well.
Yep. Deny every single one. Take a 30 CS lead, you're up a level as Gumayusi, and you could continue to bully, and now you could swap. And this is kind of a saving grace here for the Jace. As we watch this one more time, Owner gets the kick here behind, and nowhere is safe on the bottom side of the map when you have that many minions crashing into the turret, the minions.
Yeah.
As the ult is perfect from Kuma to follow it up.
They lock down the turret as well. Flag and drag, nice buffer there from OnFleek, keeps him alive. Still, they lose the inner turret, and T1 are being super oppressive. Ona looks for his opportunity. There it is! Safeguard, kick flash, and Karis kicked into the team. However, he is able to throw down his ultimate. Good ignite there from Carrier. Will end up locking down the kill, but look at the AoE from that Super Mega Death Rocket. My god! Gumayusi does so much damage, but it is just the mid lane at the...
It wasn't a huge draft gap per se, but I thought it was pretty smart. But now that they're this far behind, it's really hard for the Twin here to even sideline as we watch this kick. Very, very well played. The flash forward, pushes him back in. Carrier gets Owner out, considering the Rift Herald. The Rift Herald here is so critical for Humble Life Esports, but they want to drop it mid, and they can't. They can never drop it here, unfortunately, for Samdi, because he's always going to be pushed under turret here. So you're limiting the options for the Rift Herald for OnFleek right now as T1, getting more gold to this Fed Jinx already. And the crazy part about this, too, and why it's so good for T1 is due to, hold that thought.
There's the flash forward from OnFleek, finds the knock up onto Faker, and that is all too easy. The Unleash Power, the gameplay button, and Karis is going to lock down that kill, and now Dragon Control should be over to Humble Life Esports as Guma takes another couple of points in on the top side of the map.
The positioning here for Carrier is so good, too, because he's kind of covering the angles here. OnFleek is going to roam up. Instead of taking the free plates for the Syndra, because she has such great control, they really want to turn this into a massive turn on the top side. So greedy.
Well, Abyssal Dive going to go forward here as Gumayusi trying to keep himself alive. Moonlight Vigil is going to manage to do it. Dudu now wants an opportunity to fight back, but unfortunately the ult does not last long enough. Carrier decides to have a party in the fountain, and he may as well, as the Nexus is now going to be the option. Gumayusi just trying to kite as best he can. Good little stun there from Karis, but Super Mega Death Rocket will grab one last kill for Gumayusi as T1 even out the series.
You can tell how hyped there as well. The ref's coming over to grab the damage chart, and he's like kind of popping off in his chair a little bit.
Yeah. Pressure rather than exerting it, and that is not what this T1 team does, right? Like, it's the bottom lane that is taken down to about half health, slowed, but isn't going to get knocked up, as there's the flash, but Vista That's just, you're never going to be safe there, and that's first blood going to T1. Owner picks it up, and the
You have to move away from this huge voyage to the right side there, which makes him vulnerable as Dudu.
Yeah, he's in the mist as the needlework's coming out. He wants to try and find this. The ghost has been popped, is now Zeus. Oh, doesn't find the shock blast that would have been the solo kill, and instead Dudu picks it up.
You can see how frustrating of this time around, as they have a better setup here as well on the Rift Herald. Dudu still catching a wave, very slow to rotate.
Well, he does have a blast cone to make his way in if he wants to, as Ona dives forward, finds the ulti to split up this fight, but it's a good double knock-up, and immediately Karas able to help out. It was a bit of a sombrero, but otherwise not too much to worry about as the double kill comes forward for On Fleek. Carrier now diving onto Vista. Once again, he avoids the knock-up, and Carrier with the Devourer available, but is he able to save the Xin Zhao? The answer is absolutely, as he gets a gigantic...
A little bit wishy-washy on how they want to do this.
Yeah, he does have himself an orb, as now Ona could be in trouble. Gravity field goes down, and that is going to be Shirley diving into the turret, but it's On Fleek trying to get out, and Gumayushi's here in the nick of time to grab that kill. Good shockwave is going to connect onto Faker, and he'll go down for the 1-for-1 right now. As, oh dear, Zeus caught out of position, snipped up there by Dudu, as well as now Ona's trying to run himself out as Karas goes golden at the perfect time, and Dudu helps grab yet another kill for Harmful Life, and they should be able to grab themselves a dragon as well, as Carrier just voyages his way out.
Yeah, a lot of tools used early in the team fight here for T1, hoping that it was going to lead to bigger successes.
All right, goodbye.
Gale forces up, and he's going to grab a kill there.
And T1, can they defend? This tower is very, very low. Faker over to the side. That's a great knock-up as the shockwave is going to connect, but only onto Carrier. He eats the gray health and is going to fall down, but now the Chaos Storm as Faker flashes on in. Karas is not going to survive this one. On Fleek doing his best to try and do the same as the curtains have been called. On Fleek, will he have another flag and drag is kind of the question here, as we've traded 1-for-1 so far. As that was a very strange interaction, but that's fine. Death Ray is going to connect, and Faker makes the trade better for T1. Fleek going to dive forward. Ona, Wind becomes lightning, is now Dudu fighting Zeus and losing. Just gets solo killed by the late game chase. Not something I was expecting to say, as the orb comes in, slows down Ona with the dissonance. As now Faker lying in wait. The Cataclysm is going to be used as the Shockwave pulls him back. And On Fleek is going to submite, is the question. The Baron's down to 50-50. It's going to be secured by Ona, but can they win the fight, is the question. Carrier gets the Devourer off, and now Ona back in once again. The Orianna grabs the first kill, but the Caitlyn is already dead. The bottom lane has been dealt with, and now it's Dudu that has the damage. Karas there to try and support him. 4 versus 3. The Baron on T1. They win this fight.
Yeah, Baron on them. There's no way Hanwha Life Esports can continue to chase you.
Just insane. I feel like we say that about kind of every champion that he plays, but this time I think he's going to get the pop. I don't know. You reckon?
Feeling that way.
Yeah, dude.
For that moment.
He's immune. So he's going to be all right. Is On Fleek looking for his opportunity. Dives towards Faker, doesn't get the knock-up, and I think On Fleek's just dead. He does get a Cataclysm, but that was heading towards the grave. And now, without a jungler, they are not getting this soul. That is absolutely a fact.
And this is not an issue of Hanwha Life.
I have to get devoured. And Carrier's going to walk this one out. Ona now finds himself in the company of 4 members. Make that 5, as they try and give the kill to Samdi, and he's able to pick that one up. So, On Fleek throws himself into T.
Rush this down. They might end up being a 50-50 on this. They might lose both.
They should be able to get this, as the teleport immediately comes in. Okay, that is going to be the Baron secured, and the Shockwave does absolutely nothing. Ona now splits up this fight as best he can, as Carrier finds himself on the wrong side of the fight. Dudu goes golden. Faker is out of there immediately, but not before taking down On Fleek on his way out. And T1, it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade support for that's respawning in 9 seconds time. So no more super creeps are making their way up the waves, as that's a decent stun there onto On Fleek, who decides to go in. That could actually be the end here, as Ona does it as well, but he's able to get himself out of the way. Does so nicely, as that's a great devour, but has Carrier actually saved Faker? He gets a huge shield as Dudu goes golden, and now Ona looks for the re-engage. The curtains have been called. It's a 1-for-1, but Gwen for Tahm Kench, you will definitely take that if you're T1, as now the fight continuing, and the double kill for Ona in the end. That is going to be that, as T1 find the team fight early, and they will finish off this game.
And that's definitely going to be a vote in the Carrier call on this one.
You can write it down right now,
we can write it down, because that is so many saves he's had this game, including on Faker at the end, which is the most critical one to end the game. Things look shaky in the start of that engage. Things look shaky at the start of that engage, but T1 are able to win it in the end.
Oh man, that was definitely a slow burn, but in the end, T1 are going to be able to pick up the win. Nexus goes down. Harmolife Esports, as per usual, made them work for it, but this time the curse is not going to strike.
And I think a lot of people might look at this and go, "Oh, I'm worried because T1 struggled in a 3-game series against Harmolife Esports. Will they be able to beat Gen G?" I think what we saw was T1 give Zeri over, then play into a Caitlyn bot lane,